Hey, it's 10 or 11 minutes to 7 o'clock. How is it, you've got your favourite artist, James Blunt. He's coming to town, which he just recently did, in fact.
I know, I missed him though.
Yeah, well, had you been on the ball, you would have probably had a sleepless night. You would have known that you've got to jump online to get tickets the next day. You would have woken up early, jumped online, and possibly stumbled upon a ticket seller that wants hundreds of dollars to a ticket to that show. So many people are getting caught into ticket scalping traps, and here to tell us about how to avoid paying for wildly overpriced tickets is Evelyn Richardson. She's the Chief Executive of Live Performance Australia. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Now, it is becoming much more common. Why? Why are we seeing a rise in these online ticket scalping?
I think it's like a lot of other industry sectors with the rise of digital technology and digital channels. It just provides more opportunities for people to buy and sell tickets online. So over the past, 3, 4, 5 years, we've seen a growth in online ticket platforms, particularly secondary ticket platforms, but also people are able to use all sorts of things like Facebook and Gumtree, as well as those platforms to buy tickets in the primary market and then flick them, often at inflated prices, on the secondary market.
So how does this get regulated? Because there must be some regulation we can put in place to prevent it from happening.
Well, I think it's very difficult to regulate or ban, ticket resale. I think that the more important thing is for consumers to be aware when they're buying tickets online of some of the traps, and to pay attention and prevent themselves from getting ripped off, which is why we released this social video yesterday, giving people, consumers, tips on simple things they can do to avoid being ripped off. I mean, with respect to legislation, I think the only thing we're asking federal government for at the moment is legislation to criminalise ticket bots. And ticket bots are software programs that scammers can use to suck up large volumes of tickets for when the tickets first go online.
That always surprises me. Sorry about that. That surprises me, the ticket bots, because there's always a cap on the amount of tickets that you can usually buy. How are they getting past that?
Well, they can often be very quite sophisticated. So they can be using a whole range of different cards and so on to and buy volumes instantaneously before a fan can get online. So they're quite sophisticated programs, so they can buy multiple lots of tickets rather than just come on and buy, not necessarily coming on and buying 100 or 50. They might be coming in at different entry points and picking up 10, but doing it thousands of times over.
Is there a age group that's more likely to fall prey to this? Because sometimes we think of the younger people as being more savvy with internet usage than someone, for example, my age or older, or is it just that sophisticated now?
Well, with the ticket bots it is, but with respect to people buying online, I mean, we are seeing, you see all those social media stories and those horrible stories of, people who are buying their kids' tickets as a present, and then they found out that they'd got, they bought them on a dodgy site and they'd paid 5 times above the face value, and then they found out that the tickets weren't genuine, which is probably the even bigger concern. With respect to age groups, anyone potentially buying online can be a victim to a scam, and I think those people who might be less experienced about shopping online may be more vulnerable to it. But to be honest, we're seeing people right across all age groups being ripped off. So I think the really important thing is with the social video, and we've also got a Safe Tix guide, is just giving some very simple tips about how to avoid that. And I guess the 2 or 3 key ones are, make sure you know who you're buying your ticket from. Don't assume that the first, when you do your search on a search engine, that the first thing that pops up is the authorised seller, because very often it won't be, because someone's paid for an AdWord and puts them at the top. So everybody's, I think the trouble online is often people are so excited and so keen to get their tickets.
They overclick over fast and everything.
Yeah.
Where very quickly can people find the social video?
It's up on Live Performance Australia's website, so you can on our YouTube channel, so you can go to liveperformance.com.au and click on the video there.
All right,
Thank
very
you,
much.
Evelyn Richardson, Chief Executive of Live Performance Australia. And that social video is really helpful. I watched it yesterday. Just give you some tips on just being really clear about the tickets that you're buying. We're talking about job interviews.